In today's class, we are going to discuss on about a topic called as line and staff organization structure. First, we are going to see what is called as line and staff organization structure, and then we are going to see what are all the reasons why do conflicts arise between line managers and staff personnel. And then we are also going to discuss in this slide what are all the ways in which we can achieve cooperation between line managers and staff personnel. So next we'll see on about, first we'll see what is called as line and staff organization structure. So line and staff organization structure means it is nothing but it is a combination of line executives and staff personnel or staff specialist. So like what happened if you take a company, both line managers and staff specialists, they both have to work together. And if you see the profile of these two people, line managers are somewhat very experienced, very old people, they got a lot of experience. And if you take staff specialists, they are very young, they are more educated and they are very sophisticated in their outlook. So normally what happens when people of two different extremes are going to work together, there are greater chances of conflicts to arise between them. So, in today's class, we are going to discuss what is the reason why do conflict arise between these two people and how to solve the disputes or the conflicts between them. So, before we get inside the conflicts and other aspects, let us see some details about who is a staff specialist. Staff specialist is more or less like a personal secretary or like a personal assistant. They are being deputed by the company or by the top management to help on about line managers. So, the staff specialist job is purely of advisory nature. They provide advice, they provide suggestions, they provide opinions to the line managers. And apart from that, they also provide required details and information to the line managers that helps the line managers to make quick decisions. And apart from that, staff specialists are also there in order to support on about line managers in all organizational problems and in all organizational context. But if you see the line managers, they got more powers in the company when compared to staff specialists. Staff specialists, they do not have any power of command over the subordinates. The job is only to provide advice, to provide information, to provide details to the line managers, but they don't have any ultimate right to get their ideas or opinions implemented in the company. In very simple term, staff specialists are the people, they work below the line managers, and line managers are the people, they got more powers in their hand. So, what is the reason why do these two people have to work together, or why do staff specialists are being appointed in the company? There are certain advantages are there. So first of all, they provide on about expert advice. So staff specialists, they provide very valuable ideas, very useful information to the line managers, which in turn help the line managers, they get relieved. Okay, they get relieved. Their burden gets reduced because of these staff specialists, because they are providing valuable ideas, valuable information, and which in turn helps the line managers to take on about quality decisions. So next we will see on about what are all the reasons or the causes for the conflict between line managers and staff personnel. So we can classify the conflicts into three basic categories. One is line managers make certain complaints on staff personnel. Similarly, second category is staff personnel, they make certain complaints on line managers. And the third category is there exists some weakness in the company's organizational structure itself that creates problem between these two people. So first we'll see what are all the complaints line managers makes on the staff personnel. The first complaint is staff interfere in their work. Line managers mostly complain that the staff specialists, they interfere in the work of the line managers and they attempt to tell them how to do their job. It is more or less like making interference. Line managers, they mostly feel that staff specialists are interfering in their day-to-day work and they are trying to teach them how to do their routine and regular work. So that is a major complaint issued or raised by most of the line managers against staff personnel. The next complaint is they fail to give sound advice. So previously we had seen that staff specialist job is to provide on about ideas, opinions and suggestions to the line managers. But the ideas, opinions and suggestions provided by the staff specialist are not complete in all aspects. That is, just for namesake they are giving some ideas and opinions and it fails to really solve the company's problem. So that is the second complaint. The third complaint is little practical application. As we had already discussed, line managers are more experienced and staff personnel are very young and more educated. So line managers, they complain that staff personnel, they don't have that much practical experience. They are very strong academically, but when it comes to practical application and experience, they are very weak. So the ideas given by the staff specialist are not sufficient enough to solve the company's problem. Theoretically, they are fine, but when it comes to practical application, the ideas given by the staff personnel are very weak. So that is another complaint posed by the line managers. And next complaint is they are not acquainted with the real problems of the enterprise. That is, staff personnel, they are giving advice, they are giving information, but what is required for the organization, they are not giving it properly. Just for namesake, they are just giving some ideas and opinions, but they are not trying to consider what will be applicable to my company. Will this idea or this suggestion will be applicable to my company? They are considering the entire organization. So that is another complaint raised by the line managers. And next complaint is they are not accountable for results. As we had already discussed, line managers are the people at the top and staff personnel are the people they work below the line managers. So since the staff personnel, they are not responsible for any results, they fail to give a very valuable ideas and information. Because anyway, I am not responsible, so I don't need to strain much. So that is the attitude of the staff personnel. This is another complaint raised by the line managers. And another complaint is they assume credit for success. When something goes right, staff personnel are taking part in that success. When something goes wrong, they put the blame on the line managers. So in that way, there exists a parity between these two people. And next complaint is they fail to see the whole picture. So it is more or less like a conceptual skill. That is, the staff personnel, they are giving ideas, but they are not seeing the entire company or the entire problem. They are just seeing the problem from one point of view and they are failing to see the whole picture and give a valuable idea. So this is another complaint raised by the line managers. And last complaint is they impose their superiority. Since staff personnel, they are more educated than the line managers, they feel they are more superior than the line managers. So these are all the common complaints that are being raised by the line managers or staff personnel. The second category is now the staff personnel, they are making some complaints on the line managers. So what are all the complaints they are making means the first complaint is they resist new ideas. So staff personnel, they are saying that since line managers are very old people, whatever new ideas they be given, these people are not ready to accept them. So because they are very old, they are very conservative, they are not very open-minded, they are not ready to accept the new ideas given by the staff personnel. So this is the first complaint raised by the staff personnel on line managers. The second complaint is they are not prepared to listen to them. Line managers, they feel that they are more experienced, they are more knowledgeable and they are not even ready to listen to us. So that is another important complaint. The third complaint made by the staff personnel on line managers is they lack authority to get ideas implemented. Even though we got valuable ideas, even though our informations are very good and in detail, we don't have any authority to get it implemented in the company. Only if the line managers accept my idea, it gets implemented. Without the approval of the line managers, my ideas goes into dustbin. So this is another complaint raised by the staff personnel. The last common complaint raised by the staff personnel is they are not consulted at all. They are being consulted just for namesake, as a last resort. As a last step, line managers are just asking an opinion. They are not consulting us in the beginning of the problem. Just for namesake, we are being consulted. So these are all the 4 major common complaints raised by the staff personnel on line managers. Now we come to the third category of complaint. What are all the weaknesses that exist in the organization that brings conflicts between these two people? The first one, authority relationship not clearly defined. In a company, if your company's organization structure does not clearly define what is the limit of a line manager, what is the limit of a staff personnel, definitely conflict will arise between these two people. The second weakness is the staff people, as I said, they are very young, they are more educated and they are more sophisticated, very broad-minded, their outlook is very broad. But when you take on about line managers, they are very old people, they are less educated, they are very narrow-minded, they are very conservative. So these are all the 3 common problems that arise in the company's organization structure that brings conflict between these two people. So now we'll see how to solve the complaint or how to bring cooperation between these two people, that is line managers and staff personnel. The first step is limits of line and staff should be clearly defined. That is, the company's top management should take some step to clearly define what is the limit of a line manager and what is the boundary of a staff personnel. They should make it very clear. Okay, the line should be drawn between the line managers and between staff personnel in terms of their duty, rights, responsibilities, functions and all those things. The second step for overcoming this conflict is should be made clear line is ultimate responsible for results. The top management should make it very clear that line managers are the people, they are ultimate people, they got maximum powers in the company to get anything done. So they are the people, they got maximum powers in the company when compared to a staff personnel. They are the people, they got maximum powers in the company. It should be made very clear in the organization. The third step is line should consider and follow the recommendation in the best interest of the organization. So since because line managers have got maximum power, it doesn't mean that they cannot they can degrade on about staff personnel. No, it is not so like that. If any ideas or opinions or suggestions given by the staff personnel are very good, from the point of view of the company, line managers should not hesitate to get it implemented. They should consider the interest of the company and they should not see any ego clashes. So that is the third important step or suggestion to be followed, that if any ideas is good from the company's point of view, line managers should immediately accept it. And fourth one is line should give reasons for not accepting advice. If any idea given by the staff personnel are being rejected, line manager should give valid reason as to why that idea is being rejected. Next one, principle of compulsory staff advice. So line manager should strictly follow this principle of compulsory staff advice, that before taking any decision, compulsorily a line manager should get ideas, opinions and suggestions from the staff personnel. That becomes a mandatory rule. By putting this principle, to some extent we can avoid conflict. And next one, they should keep the staff fully informed of the problem. Line manager should not inform the staff personnel at the last minute. Right from the beginning of the problem, the staff personnel should work along with the line managers and they should be fully aware of the problem. And next one, staff should not make it a prestige issue when their advice is not followed. When their advice of the staff personnel are being rejected, they should not feel degraded. They should think that it is being rejected for the company's point of view and not as an ego problem. And next one, staff should fully consider and give suggestion. Before giving any suggestions and ideas, staff personnel should consider the entire problem, entire company and then give ideas. And last one, staff should be a problem solver and not be a problem creator. So staff personnel are being appointed by the top management to help line managers and not to create problem. So all these are the ways in which these two